to Tales of Olympus. Today's episode begins an epic journey, one that dives deep into the realms of the two of the most powerful Olympian gods, Poseidon, the lord of the sea, and Hades, the king of the underworld. But before they ruled their kingdoms, they were just brothers, born into chaos. And today, we begin with their origins. Well, if you listen to our earlier episodes, The Origins of the Gods, Part 1, Part 2, and Titanomachy, you may have known already the story, but I'll just do a quick recap over here. And if you haven't listened to those episodes yet, listen to it straight away. Okay, recap starting in 3, 2, 1. Poseidon and Hades were sons of the Titans, Kronos and Rhea, just like Zeus, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. But there was a terrifying curse in their family. Kronos, afraid that one of his children will overthrow him, just like he had decided to overthrow his own father, Uranus, he decided to swallow each child the moment they were born. First Hestia, then Demeter, then Hera, then Hades, who barely had time to cry before Kronos opened his jaw and devoured him, and when Poseidon was born, the same fate was followed. But Rhea, their mother, couldn't take it anymore. So, when Zeus was born, she hid him and gave Kronos a rock wrapped in cloth. Thanks to Zeus, who later grew up and made Kronos vomit up his siblings, Hades and Poseidon were reborn into the light, fully grown and ready to fight. Okay, that's a part of the origin of the gods, and now the Titanomachy, like the great war between the gods and the titans, and how they got their weapons from the elder Cyclopes, Poseidon's trident, Hades' helmet of darkness, and Zeus's thunderbolt. And the gods won, and the titans were cast into Tartarus, the deepest pit of the underworld. After the war, it was time to divide the world, and the three brothers drew lots. Zeus won the sky and became king of the gods. Poseidon took the sea and ruling oceans and every creature beneath the waves. Hades got the underworld, a sacred duty to watch over the dead. This was the beginning of a new era, and the start of two very different journeys. Okay, before we keep going on their personal birth and stories, we finished the birth, and now we're going on to the stories. But as always, thanks to all the listeners in our 8 countries now, and we now have 100 downloads. Congratulations, everybody! Thank you for supporting me for all this through, and I'm literally just 10 years old, whether you know me or not in real life. Thanks to all my family for my support, and thanks to all of you listeners for your support as well. This is a really big milestone for me. Yeah. And I created a poster that you can download, and you can print it out, and it looks really cool. I put it in the link description below, and yeah, that's practically it. Go make sure to download it and keep sharing this podcast to all your other friends and leave a review. And we are now on almost 50 or 30 platforms, like Podchaser, Carrot Podcasting, Call Notes, Listen Notes, a lot of platforms. And thanks again for the 100 downloads. I'm really moved to see that. This really happened because it was always my dream to become a podcaster. Okay, so enough horsing around. We return to the sea, to the roaring, wild, and unpredictable domain of Poseidon, god of oceans, storms, and horses, known as the Earthshaker, the Stormbringer. Poseidon ruled with a trident in his hand and power in every tide. But Poseidon wasn't just a sea god. He was one of the most feared and respected Olympians, a god of great wrath, pride, and strength, yet sometimes kindness and creation too. Poseidon's palace was not on Mount Olympus like Zeus or Hera. His was deep beneath the sea, in a shimmering palace made of coral, gems, and pearls. But it was said to shine like the stars but underwater. There, with his queen Amphitrite, a sea nymph he had to chase all across the world to marry, he ruled all over the aquatic life. Dolphins, sea monsters, mermaids, fish, krakens, every creature bowed to him. Sailors offered sacrifices to Poseidon before every voyage. And when he was angry, he sent storms, earthquakes, and even tsunamis. One of the most famous myths was the rivalry between Poseidon and Athena, because both wanted to become the patron of god of a city named Attica. So Zeus told them to each offer a gift to the people. Whoever gave the better gift would win the city. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, and from the earth sprang a saltwater spring, and in some versions a powerful war horse. Athena, however, gave the people the olive tree, the first one, actually, the symbol of peace, wisdom, and prosperity. The people in the city chose Athena. Poseidon was furious and sent the floods to punish them. That city became Athens, named for Athena. And to this day, Poseidon and Athena are seen as rivals. So, personally, I'm on Team Poseidon. And if Poseidon won the challenge, Athens might have been named Poseidon Tropolis or something. That would be cool. Okay, but again, before we continue to the Poseidon creates the first horse story, I want to say that if any of you listeners use Reddit, you may know what it is, and I have created a community on it called the subreddit r/Tales of Olympus Club. No space. I'll put the link in the description below so you can click on it and join. It is completely free, and I will drop some new updates, maybe sneak peeks sometimes. Okay, now back to the story. Poseidon creates the first horse. Did you know Poseidon was also the god of horses? According to legend, he created the very first horse, sometimes for trying to battle Athens with Athena, or sometimes trying to impress Demeter. But every time he tried to shape something beautiful, he kept making sea creatures, until finally he crafted the perfect stallion. And from him came all horses on earth, and that's why Poseidon is sometimes called the Lord of Horses. And chariots pulled by hippocampus, sea horses, were said to fly across the sea when Poseidon traveled. Poseidon also once helped build the walls of Troy. Yes, he and Apollo, as punishment from Zeus, were made to serve King Laomedon. Poseidon raised huge stone walls that no army could pass. But when the king refused to pay for all his hard work as a mortal, Poseidon sent a sea monster to attack Troy. This is the same monster that Heracles later killed. And yes, it's the same city that will later fall in the Trojan War. Poseidon had many children, both mortal and godly. Some were heroes like Theseus, and some were monsters like the Cyclops, Polyphemus, or the giant Antaeus. He was proud, but not always present. His children often struggled, just like Percy Jackson in the books. But still, Poseidon's power as a protector, a stormbringer, and a father figure is unforgettable. That's pretty. Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but that's it for the Poseidon part of the story. Before we begin the Hades, I know there's a lot of stops between stories today, but hope you don't mind. I'm just going to say a little thing. The fact that actually you may have already known this if you know me in real life, but I want to thank my cousin Alpine and my cousins, Sarah and Lily. Yeah, they've been a wonderful family. Okay, I know this is not part of the episode, and let me take a little break and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, now let's continue. Beneath the earth lies a kingdom unseen by mortals and feared by even the gods. This is the realm of Hades, the god of the underworld, death, shadow, and buried treasures. He is not the god of death itself, that's Thanatos, but Hades is the one who rules over the dead. After the great war against the Titans, Hades got the underworld, a place that no one really wanted. But Hades accepted his fate, and from that day on, he ruled the land of the dead with strength and silence. The underworld is often mistaken for a place of fire and torture. But in Greek mythology, it's not hell. It's simply where souls go after death. Well, because it's been a little badly looked at since the Disney film Hercules came out. Like, Hades isn't an evil guy, actually. He's just, he rules over the dead, so they're meant to get some looks. So good people went to Elysium when they died, and Elysium was a peaceful paradise, sort of like Disneyland, summertime beach and paradise, all made together. It's like heaven. Great heroes might even go to the Isles of the Blessed. Evil ones were punished in the fields of punishment, or sometimes even Tartarus. Those were both places of deep, deep torment, but Tartarus was more scarier because it's literally hell, Greek for hell. The most souls, though, just wandered the fields of asphalto, quiet and gray. Hades ruled it all, rarely leaving his realm. He sat on a black throne with Persephone beside him. One of the most famous stories of Hades is how he gained a wife. He abducted Persephone, the daughter of Demeter and Zeus, and took her to the underworld. There, she ate 6 seeds of a pomegranate, binding her to his world. But it wasn't just cruelty. Over time, myths said that Hades loved her deeply and treated her as an equal queen. She became the goddess of spring and the queen of dead, living half the year with Hades and half with her mother. This story is how the Greeks explain the seasons. When Persephone is in the underworld, Demeter mourns and it is winter. When she returns, spring blooms. No one enters or leaves the underworld without passing Cerberus, the three-headed dog. Cerberus was loyal only to Hades and devoured anyone who tried to escape. Many heroes tried to face him: Orpheus, Heracles, and even Percy Jackson. Well, they all succeeded. Yeah, they literally succeeded. Anyways, in modern stories, Hades is sometimes shown as a villain, but in the real myths, Hades wasn't evil, just distant, but he was fair. He did not cause death. He did not lie or cheat. In fact, he had strict rules about justice and rarely interfered with mortal affairs. He even punished ghosts who tried to return to the living world. Hades was also sometimes called as Pluto, his Roman form. If you know Roman mythology, you'll know Pluto is the god of the underworld, like literally Hades. If you have read Heroes of Olympus, you'll know all about it. So, Pluto was meaning the wealthy one. And why? Because all the precious metals, gold, silver, diamonds, gems, all came from beneath the earth. He was seen as a bringer of hidden riches, and not just a god of gloom. Gloom. Yeah. In Percy Jackson, Hades is often left out or blamed, but we see him as a complicated character. He is a complicated character. He loves his son Nico, even if he struggles to show it. He follows the rules, and when the gods abandoned Olympus, Hades stayed to fight. So while the world was, literally chaos, while the world might fear Hades, the truth is, he's not the villain. He's the keeper of order, the guardian of souls, and a god who commands deep respect, not fear. They were once brothers united against the Titans, but over time, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades drifted apart. Their realms divided, their power kept separate. Even so, their fates remain connected. A myth in modern stories like Percy Jackson. The gods swore an oath long ago, no more children by mortal woman. Okay, this part is from Percy Jackson. So, yeah. If you haven't read it, you might not understand, so you might want to go read it. So they swore the oath. And why? Because the children of the big three, like Thalia, Percy, and Nico, Jason, were too powerful. And yet they broke their promise. So we got Thalia Grace, daughter of Zeus, Percy Jackson, the son of Poseidon, and Nico D'Angelo, son of Hades. Zeus leads from Olympus, but not very often. No, not often. A lot. He makes mistakes a lot, acting out of pride. Poseidon is both powerful and calm, a god of destruction and healing. Hades is quiet but loyal, standing alone yet never backing down. In the last Olympian, it's not just a war against Kronos. It's also a reunion. The three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, finally stand together to protect Olympus. Also, a few discussion questions. Who's the best godly parent? Now, let's be honest. Zeus is not great at parenting. He lies, he hides, he zaps people. Hades is mysterious, but at least he tries to protect Nico. Poseidon is honestly the most loving. He sends gifts, he talks to Percy, and he even fights by his son's side. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Who do you think is the best godly parent? And it don't have to be the big three. It can be any god. Not even just the Olympians, like Iris, Themis, and all the other guys. And that's the end of today's episode. Poseidon and Hades, lords of the sea and the dead. Join me next time for another exciting tale from the world of the gods, monsters, and heroes. Don't forget to subscribe, and follow Tales of Olympus. Available on almost 30 platforms and, of course, on YouTube. Because the gods are still watching and their stories are far from over. Thanks! My name is Ariel. I'm 10 years old. And I will see you next episode.